So you want to launch a business, or you have one already, but you're a bit confused on what programs and apps to use to organize pretty much everything. If you're new here, I'm Shelby. I'm the owner of Primetime Collections. I made this channel to document my day zero in launching this business to give a more realistic look as to what it takes to launch a legitimate business. And today is the first business tip vlog I'm going to make in this series, and we're going to talk about apps and programs I use to run this business. I've run it for about 1 year up to the time I'm filming this video, and honestly it's been a trip so far. Right now I do have a full-time job alongside launching this business, and it's been kooky trying to keep track of everything, but right now I have a system that I'm pretty happy with and I want to share with you to hopefully help someone out there. So this video is going to be in 5 different sections. We're going to talk about what I use for social media, financing, content, and that's also note-taking and just storage in general, communication, and editing content. So some of these options do have a free or paid option, and I'm going to know which ones I use for paid and if it's worth it. There's definitely some in here that I definitely recommend, and don't you worry, if there's a free option as well, I will note that throughout the video. So let's start with social media. So these two apps are pretty similar. I would call them close cousins, but there is a big difference between them. So these apps is InShot and CapCut. They both are video editing software that lets you basically crop the video size if needed, add coloring, filters, stickers, wording, and much more. The main difference between InShot and CapCut is 2 different things. InShot allows you to edit photos, CapCut does not. I like InShot's photo editor because I like to make Instagram reels, cover art with that. I would say CapCut has a bigger advantage for this one thing, and that's the TikTok integration. I've tested this along with my friends, and basically TikTok does not really push content if you upload it from your phone. If you have a following, that doesn't matter, they'll push it regardless. But as a new account, I've noticed that when I upload a video from my phone storage, I don't get any views. But if I upload it to CapCut and then export it to TikTok, I do get views. I'm so happy this integration happened. It's a lifesaver because I did make content ahead of time, and it's just so easy to just upload to CapCut and then just put it into TikTok. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. CapCut does have a paid option. I haven't paid for CapCut's premium app as of now. I do pay for InShots. I believe it was $32 lifetime, but they stopped that in favor for $32 a year. Do I think it's worth it? I believe so, mainly because InShot gives a watermark, and I believe you can also get a lot more fonts and stickers with the paid option. And if anything, you can just deduct it out of your taxes that you should be doing. So these 2 next things in this section is going to be focused on TikTok a little bit more. And this is going to be an app called SaveTik. So SaveTik allows you to download TikTok videos without the watermark. This is very important because Instagram doesn't really push content if there's a watermark on a video. You know, it's not an automatic disqualifier. You still see videos that's pushed with the watermark, but you know, Instagram doesn't really push it a bit more. I'm sure you notice it when you upload content. Once again, if you have a bigger following, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but if you're new, you should be cautious of that. And it's also good if you want to go through the repost interesting videos route to get, you know, your daily reels upload quota up. And the last one is not an app, but it's a website, and it's called musicaldown.com. This allows you to download TikTok audios. This is my bread and butter because I like to sometimes film videos on my, you know, better camera, the Sony a7 IV, but just basically chipping the audio into the camera is a bit of a hassle. So what I do is I'll find a video on TikTok that has the audio I want. I'll go to the website, download it, and splice it into Sony Vegas Pro, which I use as a video editor, but some also use Premiere Pro. I need to fix my pigtail thingies because I realize they look extra crusty. Alright, this is the most important section we're going to talk about, and this is finance. Before we get into it, I do have to say this. Get an accountant. I don't care if you think you know what you're doing, you don't. You do not fuck with the IRS. Get an accountant. I had my first conversation with my accountant. I've used an accountant for the past 4 years for my personal taxes. That does include freelance. And he does LLC taxes, which is fantastic. And during our first conversation, I learned things I did not even think about. So honestly, the money is worth it to just for a safe of mind, just to know that everything is done right. Get an accountant. With that being said, the program I do recommend in finances is QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is a all-in-one financial management platform, and it's also available via app as well. It does have tools for accounting, inventory tracking, payroll, tax filing, invoicing, and so much more. You can add your bank accounts, including credit card accounts as well. So you can auto pull transactions to confirm that it is all in one place, and it asks you to confirm what category do you belong to. I love QuickBooks because at the end of the year, during tax season, you can invite your accountant to look at your data via email invitation, and it makes everything a breeze. I use QuickBooks for my freelance and for my small business. I think it's fantastic. It does require a fee for the small business software. I believe I pay $32 a month. I might be wrong. I'll put the right price on the screen. I just think it's worth it. I just want to make sure everything is categorized correctly, and you can also attach receipts and invoices and paid notes as well, which is also useful for tax season. So with that out of the way, let's talk about section number 3, which is content. And my top app is Notion. So Notion is a project management and note-taking software. I'm sure you've seen a lot of YouTubers use it as a personal bullet journal as well. I use it for bullet journaling. I love it. Just think of it as a journal. It's a single place where you can think, write, and plan many different things. It provides sort of like a building block, and you can create your own layouts and toolkits to make your work more of a breeze. So the way I use it is I use it for note-taking for potential feature launches. I mainly use it for content creation. There's a calendar view, and I use it for Instagram especially, and also email topics as well. And I also have a section for brain dumps that does include financial opportunities, just basic things to remember, also note-taking for meetings as well. But like I said, I mostly use it for Instagram content creation and just double checking that everything is all scheduled and done, and also what day I want to launch things. So within this content section, I do want to talk about storage, and the storage I highly recommend is Microsoft OneDrive. So OneDrive is part of the Microsoft family, and it is their cloud service. It allows you to store files in the cloud, and you can easily access it via your phone, via app, and also desktop as well. I like to think of it as a separate folder section on my PC. It basically works as if it's connected to your own personal hard drive, and I love to use it to store YouTube content as well, because even though YouTube videos are typically on average 10-15 minutes sometimes, the videos I need that's raw footage is just a lot of gigabytes, and my personal computer cannot take it. So what I do is I make a folder within my OneDrive, and I just edit my content within that folder, and I've had no issues. It does take a while for the content to load on your video editing software, but I think it's worth it just for the free space that your PC is given. And if you do content share, you can make a folder for that and give people a link to copy that content as well. I love to use it, especially when I need to upload videos I take on my phone and share it to other people. This is not really part of the content section, but since it's part of the Microsoft family, I do want to mention it, and that is connecting your email address to Microsoft Outlook. I like it because it gives a more professional feel. So I have my domain with Namecheap, and Namecheap uses a specific email, what do we want to call it, program, server, that I'm not really a big fan of. So there's a lot of stuff that is taken to link your, I think it's called private email, to link your private email to Outlook, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. I will put a link in the description if I can find an article or a video that explains it pretty well. So the next thing I want to talk about is Google products. So Google Drive is a cloud-based service that's owned by Google, and it allows you to save files online and access them anywhere from any device, whether it's a computer, phone, or tablet. I'm sure you're very familiar with Google Sheets, Google Docs, and it also has an autosave function, which has saved me a lot of times. And if you are someone who forgets to save their files, I think you should use this. As you know, it's free. I believe that you get 12 to 15 gigabytes for free. More than that, you have to pay to upgrade that service. If I had to choose between Google Drive and OneDrive, if someone put a gun to my face, I'll probably choose OneDrive at the end of the day. It does cost $5 a month for 1 terabyte of storage, but with what you get, I think it's completely worth it. So this next thing is very, very optional, and this is called a NAS. So a NAS, you can think of it as like a mega storage system. It basically stands for Network Attached Software, and it's a dedicated file storage that users use on a local area network, basically via your Ethernet and also Wi-Fi. You can think of it as like a flash drive, but just on steroids. A NAS can hold several terabytes at a time. I have mine hidden under my TV storage, and it serves as a fantastic use for storing content that I definitely won't touch for a while, which includes text documents, YouTube content I don't need anymore and I positive I won't touch for a while, and also just life documents like videos and photos from vacations and whatnot. So this fourth section we're going to talk about is communication. I am someone who asks a lot of dumb questions, and the way I can ask dumb questions is through ClickUp. So ClickUp is a project management tool where you can plan, track, and manage any type of work. You can also integrate commonly known apps like Trello, Monday, and Asana. The thing I like most about this is when you have certain threads going in whatever channel it needs be, such as marketing, design, etc., you can assign that specific comment in a thread to someone to make sure that they see it, because in ClickUp there's a dedicated section that's called Assign to Me to make sure that you don't miss any questions or concerns. I also like that I'm able to see where in the timeline something is in progress, or if it's done, if it's late, why is it late, that I can ask questions or make any comments in that timeline. So I don't use this for my business, I use for personal pretty much on a daily basis, but this is something I do recommend to build a sense of community, and it is Discord. So Discord is a messaging social platform, and users, depending on the level of security, they have the ability to communicate via voice calls, video calls, texting, media and file sharing, and a private chat in your server. So when you hear about Discord, you hear servers and channels. Basically the difference is the server is your home, it's your space. But channels are separate categories in your server. So let's say for example, if your server is about cooking, right? Your channels could be baking, appetizers, soups, meats, vegetarian, if you can understand what I'm trying to go with this. I definitely want to make a Discord server in the future just for a sense of community, whether it's between my business and them as a consumer, or just something in the same space, which is fitness. I just think it's important to keep in touch with people who love you as a business or as a person in general, whether it's asking questions or comments about what they bought, or just sharing a similar, topic or interest such as fitness, which is what mine would be. Something I should really mention about Discord is you can make certain channels that's only viewable for certain people, and you can do it via roles. There's videos out there that explains a bit more, but basically you can make a role for, let's say, your moderators or employees, and also another role for your general users, such as your fans. And when you make a role, you can designate certain channels viewable to them and them only. I know some people who make a Discord channel for employees only, and also another one for one has fans included. It's up to you on how you want to do it. Discord is free to use, but there is limitations. I believe Discord Nitro is $99 a year. Depending on if you pay a year in full, there is some benefit to it. I do not know limitations on owning a Discord on a free subscription. I don't think there's any limitations. I might be wrong. I'm gonna do some more research, and if there is, I'm gonna put it on the screen as I'm talking. So the final section is editing. For video content, and this includes YouTube and TikToks and Reels, I use Vegas Pro. So Vegas Pro features real-time multi-track video and audio editing on unlimited tracks. It also includes video sequencing, complex effects, compositing tools, and you can also import audio clips. Like I mentioned with Musical Down, this is how I do it. Some say it's an entry-level step to Premiere Pro. I like Vegas Pro because it is a one-time fee compared to Adobe's version, Premiere Pro, where it is a monthly fee. I may have to change to Premiere Pro depending on if I want to add on a freelance video editor or someone similar to that, because most people in the industry use Premiere Pro. But right now I'm just fine with Vegas. I love it. I've been using it for years for personal use, and I love it now. I do have to say this, but if you want to export or render very high quality videos, you should have a high performing laptop. This laptop is a gaming laptop. I don't really use gaming for it, only Binding of Isaac, which is the bare minimum, but it does render high quality videos extremely well, including this video. Even though I did mention that Adobe does require a monthly fee, I do use their Photoshop and Lightroom subscription. The reason why I have two is because even though they both utilize photo editing, they have two main differences. So the main two differences is that Photoshop ventures into image manipulation, creation, and enhancing. Something that is easily describable as to what Photoshop is used for is for advertising. As for Lightroom is focused on organizing and processing photos. You can process photos on Photoshop, but if you have a lot of photos to work with, Lightroom is the thing to use. You can batch edit photos, you can use presets. There's a whole preset library you can use, and you can also edit presets as you like and name it as your own in your own library. I believe the subscription is $9 a month. There is a generic alternative out there that I saw on Reddit that I need to look into. If I find it before I finish editing this video, I'll put it on the screen. If not, I'll put it on the description below. That's pretty much to it. This is definitely going to change as my business grows, but right now I am very happy with what I have so far. So I hope this was very useful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer them when I can. All right, bye.